Easy, guys. Easy. Got about an hour and a half. Had a wonderful morning. So my dad went to his allotment. It's a glorious day today in England. A bit chilly, but still glorious. Took a lot of beautiful photographs of nature, of the park that I was just in. So I just did a quick video about DS for Liverpool, about his staged injury. I'm doing shorter videos for people now. I just try and provide content for a range of people. I know not everybody can sit through a 4-hour live stream. Some people love the shorter videos, some people prefer the longer ones. So I'll just mix it up like a DJ, baby. I'll mix it up. I will be leaving England next week. It's been amazing seeing everybody. If anybody does want to see me before I go, drop me a message. I'll try and figure it out. But I'm definitely going next week. A full show. So this live here is going to be pretty intense. I'd love your guys' opinions in regards to the topic. You can either comment in the chat or just leave a regular comment at the end of the video. I'm intrigued to see your thoughts on it. Yo, Dr. Dre. I was playing the piano yesterday. Still DRE. Like one of the easiest songs to learn on the piano. My brother yesterday heard me playing the piano and he called me Beethoven. He's like, wow, I didn't know you were that good. Which I still don't think I am, but it definitely sounds so much better on a piano than a keyboard. It's a different level, isn't it? For anyone out there who knows the difference between a piano and a keyboard, it sounds so much more beautiful on a piano. What a beautiful instrument, eh? Neil, how we doing? Adam, you saucy little minx. Any ideas about Champions League later? Have a feeling Shakhtar will beat Madrid. I'm crazy. And then Dr. Dre saying loves the piano and teaching his son the piano. That's incredible. I have looked into Champions League games and I've just learned not to force anything anymore and just put out codes for the sake of it. Like yesterday, I did like the Chiefs. They were minus 334, and I did like the Raiders to cover, but I didn't bother. I told Javi and a few other people because they were going to go all in on the Raiders. I feel like a lot of people did go all in on the Raiders money line. But anytime you have a dog who has an incredible riddle like the Raiders did, you've got to do the spread because the Chiefs had crazy numbers. The first thing that stood out to me in that NFL game was the Chiefs going 4-1 because Patrick Mahomes was born 17-9, which is the anniversary of the NFL being founded, and 179 is the 41st prime. And they became 4-1. But again, in regards to the Champions League, I would say there's some suspicious odds. I look at that first. People always ask me, hello, Benji. Hey, Mum, I'm just doing a live stream. Oh, is it? Sorry, brother. Those cookies are not yours, are they? Because I've just opened them. Cheeky cup of tea and a couple of cookies. I'm just stroking Benji, guys. Legendary dog. So I was looking at the odds of these Champions League games, and they're very suspicious, in my opinion. Like PSG, I know they don't have Messi. They're 1-2. It looks good for them to drop Benfica to 2-1-1. 211 is the 47th prime, and that number is so connected to Paris and Freemasonry and just pretty much all the secret societies. The Real Madrid game, is there really any point looking into it? They're minus 300. I know Ancelotti is looking to get his 4th win in a row in the group stage. Rarely ever happens in the Champions League with Real Madrid. But then there's not much value. The Chelsea-Milan game, there's a nice riddle for that Lau to score for Milan. But yeah, I don't think there's anything that really stands out to me. The Juventus odds are pretty suspicious. They're almost even money against Maccabi Haifa. Again, Juventus should be going to Maccabi Haifa and murdering them if it was all legit. That's the reality of the situation. Just like Man United should have been putting 10 past that team from Cyprus, and they only won 3-2. So, yeah, I ain't going to force it. There's nothing that's really standing out to me. And I won't just do a code for doing a code. I always present crazy amount of content on my website, but I ain't going to just force a code that don't feel right anymore. It's not worth it. And I do believe the majority of people on my website are very patient, and they're not just in it for winning a little bit of extra money, which is great. So I'm very grateful to everybody on my website, all of you, especially Gabriel for sure, who helped me set it up. So let's not talk too much about sport. I know it's a topic that's very interesting and a lot of people love it, but I want to talk about the economy here. And basically what I stated in the title about what would happen if we all knew it was a beast system. Would we still fear it? Would we still buy down and play along if we all fully knew how it truly worked? Because within this system, it is what it is. You often hear that it is what it is. We have to pay taxes. It is what it is. And then they'll say, historically, we've had these crashes. And what's really interesting, I've told you how everything is synced up by a code. Sports often reveal what's going to happen. And there's a prime example here with the MLB, Major League Baseball, which was founded by Freemasons. You can check all of that out. And there's definitely going to be an upcoming market crash. That's not me going, wow, what an incredible prediction from the Illusion. He said there was going to be this economic crash. That's coming. I said it in 2020 and it would come in 2023 or late 2022 around the winter time. And it's on its way. You see it already. We're hearing in England that 3.5% of people living here are unemployed. They're telling us people are not looking for work due to illness, okay, because they're saying illness hits a record high. Again, I can't get into it, but it's interesting that illness is at a record high. I wonder why. Can't say why, because we know. But if you've got anything about you, you know what I've just said there without saying it. So again, going back to how they sync everything up and how there's undeniably going to be a market crash, and a huge one. I would say the biggest we've ever witnessed in our lifetime. And a few days ago, the Seattle Mariners, just know Bill Gates was born in Seattle, they came back from 8-1 down against the Toronto Blue Jays, and they won 10-9. Just know 109 is the 29th prime, which is the 10th prime, which goes back to Satan, and it's why Seattle scored 10 runs. But only 3 times in Major League Baseball postseason history has a team come back from more than 7 runs down. And in reality, it should never happen. I've said this before in like professional football. If you're 3-0 up at half-time, highest level, you have to be winning that game. There's no excuses unless somehow you get 2 players sent off for something. A team can't suddenly go from being shocking to world beaters, and it happens too often. We've seen teams score 2-3 goals in the last 5 minutes to win a game. It makes no sense. So back in 1929, Philadelphia Athletics, they were known as Philadelphia Athletics back then, they did this. They came back from 7 runs down in the postseason. There was an economic crash. 2008 is the one we probably can all connect with because most of us lived through it. Boston Red Sox came back from 7 runs down in the postseason. Economic crash. And now 2022, Seattle Mariners, they just came back. They were 7 runs down because they were down 8-1. Economic crash, question mark, no doubt. No doubt. It's been designed that way. And how it works with an economic collapse is basically, if it was to collapse, we're going to lose access to credit. I've never got a credit card. I never will. Thank you so much, Dad, for that. I didn't fall for that. I fell for university. I fell for that. I probably fell for the whole getting a marriage and buying a house. I fell for that. But I never ever got a credit card. I always spent what I could afford to spend. So if this happens, you're going to see all these banks closing. And I know in Mexico, there's banks closing everywhere. Because again, if it becomes digital, you don't really need a bank. You don't need to go in there and get out cash. You're not going to need ATM machines. All right, this is all by design. And then what's going to happen is that demand, which we're already seeing now, is going to outstrip supply of your food, of your gas, and other necessities. And I do agree that food's a necessity. Gas, I'm not even sure it's a necessity. Food is. Without food and water, you die. Gas is not a necessity. It's comfortable. It's nice to have heating in your house and hot water and all of that. It is not a necessity, gas. And again, this collapse will affect the local governments. We know the governments are run by Satanists at the highest level. And then what's going to happen is your utilities like water and electricity, they may no longer become available. Although water and electricity are God-given natural resources, you should not be paying for water or electricity. So this collapse is on its way. And I've said this before, it's far easier to manipulate and control citizens who are desperate than those who are comfortable financially. But if we all become aware of this system, this beast system, and that money is a control tool, undeniably a control tool that keeps us in our place, if the majority of the world realize that Satan's behind the economy, would we continue to bow down? Debt, they're not going to be able to pay back because the wages don't go up, and they ain't going up. Everything else is going up but the wages. So so-called Bill Gates buying all the farmland. It's not him, it's the Satanists. And it just told me my connection's unstable, and that's never happened since I've been back in England. So that's interesting. So I'm onto something here when that happens. Anytime they tell me that I have an issue with my connection is when I'm onto something. So I'll keep going. I'll keep going with this. So again, about this, it's so interesting that the economy is collapsing, yet people don't want to work. And it is legit. The amount of people that literally don't want to work. It's not they can't find a job because there's jobs available. They don't want to work. And remember, in England, they gave people job seekers allowance to have them rely on the government and to basically dumb them down and have them just be comfortable sitting at home watching Jeremy Kyle smoking the cigarettes, which is the average person on job seekers allowance. They did that. And then people having all these children and then getting all the allowance for having children and then getting put in houses that are not even theirs, that they're not even earned, because none of you own your house. Please realize that and read the small print that you may think you own your house. You don't own it. It can get taken off you whenever you want. You go, what are you talking about? Yes, it can. Pretty much the only thing you truly own in this world is your soul, and they're coming for that as well. Biden told us that. It's coming for America's soul. Had a whole campaign about it. So I ain't playing around with you when I say that. So again, the saying this drop is connected to the economy. People leaving their jobs, people complaining about having to work too many hours for not enough money, and then they realize the government can basically give them a similar amount for not doing anything. But again, what happens when they take that from you? And they're also, like I said, claiming that people are not looking for work now because they're too sick to work. Is that true? I don't know. They're saying that a lot of people are suffering from long-term illness, that it's hit a record high. Again, these statistics are nonsense. And they're saying that unemployment is at its record high. Again, according to who? There's so many jobs out there. I witnessed that in LA. There's all these restaurants everywhere. They were looking for waiters and waitresses and chefs. That wasn't the case a few years ago. So many job vacancies. So many. It's just a strange world. Like, why do most people work? What's the main purpose? To pay the bills. It's to pay the bills. And a lot of the bills you're paying for, you shouldn't even be paying for. You should not be getting taxed. And I don't care if you're going to try and justify it. Like, pays for public education and pays to repair the roads and pays for the NHS, which they're going to privatize. And again, public, private, at that level, when you're talking about the NHS, it's all the same. It's all owned by the same people. I was speaking to Gabriel yesterday, who I love to bits. And he was like, oh, like telling me to go to like Rumble and I've got to have an alternate payment method and this, that, and the other. I was like, at that level, it's all owned by the same people. It's all owned by the same people. So if I do this and I do go over there and follow everyone else and I leave my PayPal because of the threat of getting fined 2,500, which was just a lie to scare you, and it was all coded when you learn this knowledge. How many people just went, I'm leaving PayPal now. I'm not supporting them. I'm not supporting this company. I'm going to go here. What? Who's also owned by the same people that own PayPal? No, it's not. It's a different owner. All right, sure it is. You don't think all these news outlets are not owned by the same people? You don't think all these professional sports franchises are not owned by the same people that create an illusion of choice and competition? Come on. Do you think the people in the Champions League who own those clubs care about who wins it? It's all a show. It's a movie. Just like all the actors in a movie want their movie to be successful. Some will have a starring role, but in general, they want the same thing. It's the same in wrestling, like I've told you. You'll see Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins, main event. And they're after each other and this, that, and the other. And then they go backstage hugging each other. Great match, mate. It's all a show. It's all a scam. So, again, the reason people do what they do in general within this world is financially driven. It's not spiritually driven. It's financially driven. Most people got this for financial reasons. Oh, just because, well, I want to be able to travel. I want to do all of that. And that's the reality, isn't it? And people won't accept it, but it's the reality. Okay, let me read some of your comments. The class has started, thank God. I don't even bet. Good for you. I'm on the website to support your work. Thank you very much. You're the perfect person for my website. I put so much content out. Like the stuff I'm talking about here, it's more important to me now than who wins out of PSG and Benfica. You know what I'm saying? Beast system decoded. Bebe. Yeah, I'll go deep. I'll go deep. Notice the Raiders last 4 games. 1 lost by 5 and game 2 lost by 6, 56, and then game 3 lost by 3 and game 4 lost by 1. 311 start of the pandemic, 2 major numbers, 56 and 311. Brilliant, Dr. Dre. Didn't connect that. I just saw the numbers for the Chiefs. It's minus 334. Satan's interrupting the feeds, I believe so. Johnny G, I agree with you about Lewandowski. Hey, Angel Z. Nothing but love for you. I didn't know that was you. Johnny, baby. Wait, what's Yasmin saying? It's done. Biggest bank job in history and they get away with it. Yeah. Because we allow it. Come to Ireland, I'll bring you on tour of corruption hidden in plain sight. I've not even looked into flights to Ireland. Like I said, I'm leaving next week. I need to go back to Mexico. I need to, again, just reset, go there, work out, get to the beach, eat healthy again, pay all my bills that I have to pay off, and just get home. And now I can, when I say Mexico, get home, it's my home. And all of you out there telling, no, your home's in England. No, my home's in Mexico. This is where I grew up. This is not my home anymore. So please stop telling me, no, this is your home. No, it's not. It was my home. And I love my family and my friends, but it's not my home anymore. My home's Mexico. Again. So let's not allow ourselves to become depressed, because again, that's why they call it a Great Depression. When the economy collapses, we become depressed. Let's see this as an opportunity to realize, what do we actually need? Not want. What do we need? Food? Water we need. Two things that we need. Shelter, ideally. Do we need it? Is it a luxury? That's for you to decide. All right, it's not a lot that we need. Clothing, basic clothing, again, because you get arrested if you didn't have it because of the nonsense laws. Remember, back in the day, they didn't wear clothes, they didn't have to. So I would say to you all, if you have a credit card, get rid of that credit card. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Happy face, man. Much love. Taz, Johnny G, Illusion about to send a bottle of HP sauce to every subscriber. I was actually speaking about HP sauce today to my dad. He said, you're going to have to take some over. And I will. I'll drop a message to my ex-wife, who I still love to bits, and see if she wants anything bringing over. I know I'm taking her some chocolate, because English chocolate is very good, even though stay away from Nestle, an incredibly corrupt company. But then again, so is Cadbury's, isn't it? Owned by the same people. Your Vanguard, your BlackRock. Look into those two companies that own everything. Everything. Other than your soul. Yeah, I agree about Andrew Tate. Houses of Parliament sauce, exactly, yeah. That's why it has it on the label. I'm sure it's not great for me. Like anything that we purchase from a store, a grocery store. So what's going to go on is these central banks, they're going to, at the same time, hike interest rates in response to inflation. But inflation's already been predetermined by the people who control the monetary system. That's the thing. Whilst we're in this beast system, which it is, at any point they can do that. Illusion, code stocks and shares, you'll become so rich. No. So at any point they can just whoop, whoop, do whatever they want. Don't become too reliant or obsessed with money. In this system, we need X amount of money as of now. Okay, don't become obsessed with it. Don't be purchasing things that you don't need. All right, that you think you need. I was speaking to my brother Tom. I was getting rid of a load of clothes. I was like, "Why did you buy all this?" "Oh no, thought I needed it." We've all done it, haven't we? Bought all these things that we don't actually need. If you get a car, do you really need a 40, 50 grand car to get you from A to B? Do you need it? Again, the materialism element, I think Satan dictates that. Do you need those cars? Do you need the giant, enormous house where you don't even go in half it? You know what I mean? Do you need all of that stuff? You probably don't. What I want now in my life, I want to be around people who challenge me, who make me laugh. And I want to be close to God every day. I actually spoke to God today. Obviously, he didn't speak back to me. But when I did it, I felt something. It made me smile, and I can't explain it. If somebody heard me, they would have thought I was crazy. But I wasn't getting a response to what I was saying. And I wasn't speaking to God, just asking him for things. Please, God, help me with this, like most people. I was having a general chat with him, and I thanked him. I thanked him for gifting me with this knowledge to expose the beast system. I wasn't saying, please, God, can you, please, God, can you let PSG win by 2 goals today and Mbappe score? Amen. No, I don't think he's going to be like, all right, sure, mate, there you go. I think when you communicate with God in the right ways, and it's for the betterment of the majority of people, and you're not doing it through ego or just financial reasons, then he'll respect you a little bit more. Okay. Thoughts on futsal? I love futsal. I think it's an incredible game. Really benefits you technically. It's non-stop. But again, it doesn't get much exposure. There's not much money involved in it. It could very well be organic. Maybe a few of the players are possessed. But I don't think it's big enough for it to be completely corrupt. But it's hard to say. It's like, who's controlling this realm? How much free will do we have? I don't know. Maybe everything's so-called rigged and predetermined and coded. It's just whether people are aware of it and they're partaking in rituals to gain the success. Like we've seen. Oh, that's being revealed. People telling us I sold my soul and all of that. Like, how legit is that? Is that a real thing? Or is everyone just going about the business in this matrix, unaware of it? Are we just constantly coming back and being like reincarnation? Is that legit? Are we stuck here? I don't like that idea because I think that takes away God and Jesus if we're just stuck here and we keep coming back. I'm not falling for that. And there's a lot of amazing arguments for that we're in a simulation and there's not much we can do about it. So don't take life too serious and all of that. I'm not going to fall for that. I'm not going to fall for that. I do believe that we're living during end times. I really do. And I'm not scared of it. I think it's beautiful if we get to witness that, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I don't know that. And if I'm wrong, I'm not going to be incredibly disappointed. If I can keep coming back to England every other year and see my family and friends and find a nice girl, and I'm comfortable in life and I keep growing, I ain't going to be sad with that. But a big part of me is ready for everything to just go off. And I've been so consistent with my predictions that I think by 2023, the whole world will be aware that we're in a beast system. And you'll have a choice whether to keep playing along with Satan in his system when he offers you the mark, or you'll completely realize what's going on and you'll put your faith in Jesus Christ. You'll have a choice. Now, I guess you have a choice, but not many people are fully aware of the world that we're living in and who's basically controlling this realm, in my opinion. I think soon enough you'll all be aware of it and you'll have a blatant choice. Like literally you're looking at a menu, do you want this or this? But we'll see. And I'll do another live stream, not today though. I believe Prince Charles will be dying at age 74. And I've revealed it on my website why. I was right about the Queen 2 years before she went. I think Prince Charles or King Charles is gone at 74 in 2023. And that will be huge if that happens. Not for me, because at this point, it's not about me at all. 2023 is the year of the beast. Why do you think Super Bowl 56 finished 2023? The main reason I predicted that scoreline at halftime was because of the stuff I've been studying. 2023, 20 plus 23 is 43. Elizabeth's 43 in Gematria. Lucifer. Brady won Super Bowl 55 at age 43. There's so much, guys, for Prince Charles to go, and I think it'll be his heart. It tells us it's a heart condition. All these heart rituals have not been for nothing. Trust me when I say that. Trust me. These are chocolate flavored cookies with like almonds in. It's my last one. I just got 2. And they're delicious, but I know they're horrific for me. A big world-changing event will happen soon, yeah. What about Dark Winter? Which was basically a code name for senior level bioterrorist attack simulation. It was conducted back in 2001, the year of 9/11. It was designed to carry out a mock version of a widespread smallpox attack on the US. Dark Winter, and we keep hearing Biden talk about Dark Winter. Well, look into the Dark Winter simulation in 2001. 21 years ago. Event 201, like 21 foreshadowed a global pandemic. Guys, I'm going to have to go get my charger. Oh, and then I'll read out 6079's codes. Let me go get a charger before this dies on me, all right? I'll probably be a couple of minutes. So bear with me. 6079 Smith, the floor is yours. Put out your codes. Everyone else read them. And let me go get my charger. Benji's in the house. Benji's in the house. Hello, Benji, baby. Benji's in the house. Come here, baby. Good dog, hey? Yes, you I think dogs sense energy for sure. When I was walking Benji yesterday, so when I had him on his lead, okay, he seemed so restricted and unhappy because I had to put him on his lead to cross the roads. As soon as we entered the woods and I released him, the smile on his face, the energy, because he was free. And I feel like we're all walking around literally on a leash in this society. You know what I mean? We're on a leash. What I've tried to do over the last 2 years is to run free like Benji, baby. Just run free. No worries. Just seeing him running around, smiling with his stick, playing with other dogs. It's how it should be, this life. We've accepted it to just be mediocre. Most of us are living mediocre lives. And every day is a blessing, and it don't feel that way at times, does it? So many people are miserable because of the system, not because of the world. The world can be a beautiful place. Again, take away the financial struggles that most of us experience, that we're all going to experience in 2023 when there's an absolute collapse because they want that one world digital currency leading to the mark of the beast, which is basically the chip you're going to be offered to partake in society. What's more important to you now? Partaking in society to pay your bills, to live in your little house and have your little car, or freedom, which you can't put a price on. That's why I said I'm ready to be homeless. I'll be free as a bird. I might not have anything, I may not possess anything of so-called value in society, but my word, I'll be free. Free as the wind blows. Right, let me put this on charge before it dies. Oh, Benji. I've had a nightmare here. Charge. All the time, every time. It's because I use my computer so often. I don't think this is going to go in. That's what she said. I'm going to have to move. This is so annoying with these adapters, man. Can't, Adam. Satan's playing with you. It's because you're ruining him again. On live TV, baby. All right, let me keep going. All right, here in my pockets. Hopefully it don't go off. Let's take you. Let's try it here. Born free. free as the wind blows. Right, here we go. All right, there we go. Big old bam. All right. When my mum comes back, I'll probably have to move. Got a nice blue background here. Can you hear me? Chat, can you hear me? You hear me? Yes? All right. Lady Hawk. I love Lady Hawk. I really do. Okay, perfect. What did the donkeys of Blackpool Beach get for their lunch? 5 minutes. Yeah, you see those donkeys and they're so miserable because they're being owned. They're enslaved by their owner, which we are, if we allow ourselves to be. Those donkeys, they're so miserable, but the people sat on the back of them all happy. Hey, look, I'm in Blackpool on a donkey. Donkey! You know what I'm saying? Leave those poor donkeys alone. They don't belong on the streets of Blackpool. Giving overweight families rides. Poor donkeys. Cheers, Lady Hawk. Much love. So I tweeted today, it was, I think, lose track of time. People seem to like it about Gematria, and I agree with it. Obviously, I said it. Gematria is the language of the life we are living in. When you learn to use it, no evil can hide, not even the elite. And that's going to go in my illusion book, actually, when I wrote about Gematria, numerology, and symbolism. I might end it with that particular chapter. I'm going to crack that out, guys. I'm going to work on it when I'm on the boat. On the boat back to Mexico. Woo, woo! On the plane, I'll be spending the whole 10, 11 hours, whatever it is, on the illusion book. I'm excited. This is a lot for me to add to that bad boy. All right. Hey, how we doing, Joe, baby? You good? Dogs sense fear, yeah. And they also sense kindness. Benji loves me. He can feel my energy. And again, dogs never used to come up to me. Like every time I'm out now in the woods, the dogs come to me. Back in the day, I didn't really care about dogs. I didn't have a connection with them. But now they come up to me, and I told you the story right before Elizabeth died. That big old dog that looked like a wolf with massive teeth came up to me. And it winked at me, it smiled at me, it nodded at me, and then walked off. And then shortly after, I got told the Queen had died. And I'm still getting over the fact that she died on the day I was supposed to be flying to England. I can't get over that because it was sudden, wasn't it, when we found out she was sick? It was like over 24 hours, she's sick, she's dead. How did she die the day I was supposed to be flying to England? And how did I end up flying to England the day that her coffin was leaving Westminster? As soon as I arrived, the ceremony began for her moving round. I was like, how is this happening? Insanity. The dog story is crazy. It's crazy beautiful, though, isn't it? It's crazy beautiful. So again, guys, in my illusion book, I talk a lot about the central banks and the Federal Reserve System. And it's the Federal Reserve System enslaving the world, isn't it? It is. And I did something today just by design, not through enjoyment. I put the radio on. I was like, let me hear what they're saying. And my word, it was depressing. And I'm thinking, these broadcasters, do they know that they're intentionally bringing people's energy and spirit down here? Or are they just doing their job, reading what they're told to read? That's where there's a fine line with it all. Maybe they're just like, all right, I've got to do it. It's my job. Maybe I have days where it's a bit depressing, always talking about negativity, but I got to keep doing it. Are they doing it by design and do they take pleasure in it? That's for you to decide. We'll never know things like that. So the economy is on its ass. These recessions that are going to destroy small businesses. It may be good now for people who own property. So, in it's silly how the system works. So, there's an economic crash, but then everything goes up in price, and we justify it because of the economic crash. So then you're paying more rent and this, that, and the other. So if you own a whole house, you can charge people more for the rent. So we just take advantage of each other because of this beast system. And during it, you might have times where you profit, and then eventually it comes back and bites you in the ass. The way it works, the way it's designed to work. So there'll be times where you're doing great in it, and you get complacent, and then boom, it ruins you later, or it can ruin you, and then later you might make some good choices, and then it benefits you. It's just an endless cycle, and like people's pensions, who they've worked their whole life for the pension, so they're safe and comfortable when they're older, they're dropping now, and bills are going up. So is it good now to own a house? Like it's hard to deny that. Like technically, like own it, you don't, but you know what I'm getting at. Is it better to rent than to own? I think undeniably at this point, it's better to rent. The way I am personally, because I'm a free spirit, I don't want to be locked in somewhere um, in a 20-year mortgage. I was mortgaging it. It's connected to death. I don't want to do that. I'll never ever be involved in that again. I'm not falling for the American dream because in reality, it's a nightmare. The whole system is a nightmare and designed for us to fail. And I guess that's just the illusion being negative, or is it just me being real? It's me being real. And the reality is me being real comes across as negative because the existence that we're living in, the system that we operate in, is negative. So, of course, when I talk about it, it's negative, but there's positive to it because when you become aware of the system, you don't play along with it. Like you won't get that. And that was your spirit. That was a test of your spirit, by the way, guys. No doubt a test of your spirit. That's all that was for me. I stay in Edinburgh and saw some guy doing Bible promotion in town with a stand, and he told me Satan's ruling the earth right now and spoke about Eve eating the apple. Well, he's onto something. I'm not sure you'll ever see me out in the street with the Bible in my hand, um, preaching. Who knows? I don't think that's who I am. Not much of a preacher. I just speak my truth, and a lot of people respond to it. But good for him. I think we are living during end times. Satan is controlling this realm right now, but soon he's going down, and God's won. If you don't believe in God, you're going to be in for the shock of your life, aren't you? All these prices going up again. It said on the radio this. It was almost like commentary of a football game. Ukraine are getting back into this. They're not backing down. Like Ukraine on the front foot. It was like commentary from a football game. And again, I've told you, if Russia wanted to destroy the Ukraine, they would have done it in 24 hours if the world was legit. Biggest country in the world. Saying that Russia's military is getting tired. Like it's doing the London Marathon. And somebody sent me a video yesterday of it all, of Russia and the Ukraine and all the bombs going off. It's CGI. It's a movie. You're watching a movie. Can you stop sending me it? All right? You're watching a movie play out. And maybe this whole reality that we're living in is somewhat of a movie and an illusion, but your faith's not. Your faith's not an illusion. Your spirit's not an illusion. Everything else pretty much is that we see with our two eyes, even though the most important eye is your pineal eye in the center of your head to make the triangle. But all the other stuff going on around you, when you become aware of that, that's when you don't obsess over materialism. You just don't, because it's like it's not real. All right. You won't see me going in a furniture store and going, oh, look at that leather sofa. That's so beautiful. For me, I'll go in. All right. Is that comfortable? All right. Boom. I'll take it. How much is it? All right. I'm not going to get all obsessed about it. Nah. It don't mean anything. Literally means nothing. It's like, do you like my house? You think it's beautiful? I'll tell you, it's fine. What? Yeah, it's all right. But look at those curtains. Yeah, they're all right. I ain't gonna. Oh, beautiful curtains. Oh my god, they want you doing that. That's why you get all these commercials for buying stuff for your house. Keep you in the matrix. I'm gonna save up for a nice little bench in my garden. It's like, good for you. Buy your little bench. Guys, being out in nature here, the best thing other than my family and friends in England is being out in that nature and the woods and just it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I told you Satan wants you to hate the world. He wants you to hate it. Uh, don't hate it. Just don't play along with his games. He's a deceiver. It's the prince of deception, the prince of lies. All right, and he'll try and trick you every single day. Matrix. He can't trick me. He can test me and he can challenge me and he can push me and he can provoke me, but he won't deceive me anymore. And that's through this knowledge. This knowledge that I've acquired is life changing. Not financially, for most people, it won't be, but spiritually, it's absolutely game changing. And unless you really absorb the knowledge and feel the Holy Spirit in you, you'd be like, what's he on about? What am I going to do with this knowledge? How's it going to help me? You've got to be aware of knowledge is power. It really is. It's what these so-called elites have on us, is that knowledge that they've hidden. It's a cult means secret. They've hidden it from us. And they don't want people like me sharing it who've acquired it organically. So you do your bit as well, guys. Whatever you learn that you believe is interesting or significant that can change people's lives and views, share them with people. Aston Villa was supposed to win yesterday, but looks like bookies went for a draw. No, the reason why it was a draw. Again, these games on like your Monday night, Friday, they're very dangerous. I would never bet on them. Nottingham Forest became 126. Not only is that the date Kobe Bryant died, it's a big number in Gematria. When you type in the alphabet, it's 126 and two ciphers. 126 is your 9. That's why Villa are 9th with 9 points. Prince Philip died at age 99, the 99th day of the year. Today leaves 81 days left in the year, which is 9 times 9. Prince William supports Aston Villa, all that stuff. But the reason they're 126, there was multiple riddles for all three outcomes here. So you have to determine, do I take the money line on Villa for the nice riddle, or do I cover on Forest double chance at pretty much even money? They had great riddles to win. And the draw was they became 126. And their coach, who just signed a contract extension, he was hired by Forest 1 year, 2 months, and 6 days before the game. Exact 126. That's the record now. 126. It's why recently Brendan Rodgers' Leicester became 116, dropped Forest to 116, 116 days before his birthday, and then Leicester lost to become 117. Not only is that the Euro 2020 final date, huge date, 11-7, because it's your 77, 11 times 7. The last time they met each other was 117 weeks exact before that game. It's tough. Coding these games is tough because Leicester could have drawn that game and become 126, which is Brendan Rodgers' birthday. If they won it, they could have been 216. They won the Premier League in 2016. So it's not easy doing this, but being aware of the code will help you so much, and you'll see through nonsense. If you still watch the news and they promoting something that's just so negative and you see the numbers behind it, you know it's an illusion and it's all coded that it didn't happen, so it doesn't bring you down. You almost mock it. If you're unaware of the code, you see it, it brings your frequencies down, you get all upset, overly emotional. Think about what you eat. When you eat junk food, you don't feel good, do you? Why is it we're fully aware of what we put in our body in regards to food and alcohol and cigarettes? We're aware that it's having a negative effect on our body. Why can't people see that when they're watching the mainstream, where it's all negative on the news, or when you're watching your horror movies, or you're watching shows about serial killers, that you are feeding your mind with negativity? Yet people will sit for 4 or 5 hours listening to negativity and then watching horror movies. What do you think that's doing to your brain? With me, I'm positive. I do positive things. I'm around positive people. I work out. I go into nature. I go to the beach. I swim. I don't own a TV because I'm so insane. I don't go to the movie theater. I don't watch professional sports. And look at my knowledge. Look how I'm glowing. All right. So you are what you eat, people say. Think about it with your mind. It's huge. And I've told you this, your brain doesn't know the difference between what's on a TV screen and what is directly in front of you in reality. Doesn't know the difference. For you guys watching me now, all right, at home or on your TV or your laptop, your phone, whatever it is, your brain thinks that I am with you in your direct presence, but I'm not. Your brain doesn't know the difference. So again, it's your choice. I would say get rid of your TV right now. Get rid of it. Again, when the electricity goes off, which is going to happen, again, connected to the dark winter, you're not going to be as upset. Oh, I'm not going to be able to watch footy. Oh, what am I going to do about Emmerdale? Ah, Simpsons new episodes coming out. I'm not going to watch. You're not going to care. All right? Because you're not going to be as obsessed and consumed with it all. I told you back in 2014 in September, there was a category 4 hurricane where I lived. The first week it was horrific, and that's when I didn't have an awakening. That's when I was trapped in the materialism world. I couldn't handle it. It was too much. By the second week, I'd adjusted. I became friends with the whole street, the whole neighborhood. We helped each other out. Nobody was working because everything was closed down. I've never felt so connected to a society in my life, even though I didn't even speak the language when I first moved there. So, again, this whole great reset, you'll own nothing and be happy. There's two ways of looking at that. You might say, yeah, well, they want to take everything from you. They want to own you. They want to turn you into a robot. They want to manipulate you and enslave you. We've been slaves since we were born to this system, since we were born. All right. Since that nurse or doctor picks you up before your feet hit the ground and they give you that birth certificate, they own you. All right. Simple as that. But maybe we don't need all the things that we thought that we needed. Do we need a TV? Do we need a mobile phone? Yeah, I need it for work. No, that's the way that it's all been set up. Do you need a full fridge? Do you need 50 bottles of wine in your wine cellar? Do you need 7 pair of running shoes? Do you need to go on holiday every year? Do you need these things? You don't. Do you need your fancy watches? Do you need to go out for dinner 2 or 3 times a week? You don't need all this stuff. Do you need to gamble? You don't. You don't need a lot. But we're not aware of that because we feel like the more that we acquire in this world, the more wealth we acquire financially, the more successful we are. That is the biggest trap in the world because the richest people I know are miserable. Some of the happiest people I've ever met own next to nothing. And that's my personal experience. It might not be the same for you. So all you need is a can of coronavirus beer. Again, I'll never forget this story. I've told you this multiple times. I went for a run where I live in Mexico. I was going for a run, and there's not many homeless people at all there where I live. at all. There was two guys in the morning. It's probably about 9:30, and they looked homeless. They really did. So they had this sleeping bag, and they just looked homeless. Like they've not had a shower in God knows how long. And I was running, and I smiled at them, and I said something like, "Keep going." And I stopped. I told you this. I stopped. I said, "Thank you very much for that. Hey, how's it go?" I spoke to him in Spanish. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Sí, sí, sí. ¿A dónde vas? Like, where are you going? I was speaking in Spanish and all of that. And I'll remember that they had 3 beers and they were big ones. It wasn't your regular size. It was big ones, big cans. There was 3 of them, two homeless people, 3 beers. All right. There were one left and they offered me it. And I probably should have taken it and sat down with them. But I didn't want to take the beer and I was running. Didn't want to have a beer at 9:30 in the morning. But the fact that these 2 homeless people who had 3 beers between them, who knows if they would have had any food or drink for the rest of the day, offered me their beer. And that was before my awakening, but I still knew how nice that was that they did that. Um, and again, I've told you when I go back to Mexico, when I was there, after my awakening, is when it's not every day. I don't have the funds to do it or the time to do it every day. I find homeless people and I buy them hot dogs and I buy them water or whatever it is that they want. I don't give them money and I sit down with them. All right. And they're the nicest people that I've met. They're the nicest people. They appreciate a hot dog like you can't imagine. I don't go there for my ego being boosted either. I'm not having somebody film the illusion, like buying people hot dogs, like that you see people do on YouTube. They're filming themselves doing it. Yeah, I'm talking about it. That's very different to filming myself. All right, guys, I'm gonna go down here to this street and I'm gonna buy 9 hot dogs for these homeless people. All right. How do I look? How do I look? Okay, perfect. Make sure we edit that out. All right. Okay, make sure that I look really good doing this. No, I'm gonna do that as soon as I get back. It's so nice. And I might do the thing that I used to do where I coach um, underprivileged children for free, just once a week. It's 1 hour a week. It's nothing. All right. And I'm going to figure out doing that again because I stopped doing it. I'm going to do that again. I think we can all do those little things to help people. Um, but again, we need money. But as long as you have enough, you can do those nice things for people. Can't do everything for free all the time because that's just not how it works in this realm. Um, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Yeah, very wise. The real ones must rise now and take action accordingly. Don't play the game of the puppets. Life's a game. Some play it better than others. That is something I learned in primary school, I think, that quote. And it's legit. Okay. We are living out this game. And are you going to play by other people's rules or are you going to create your own? If we are living in a so called simulation, are you going to create your own character? Or are you going to have somebody create the character that you're playing? So again, I took a chance on myself. I gave up everything imaginable to go it alone. And it was a risk, but I was just so ready to give up everything anyway. And if it didn't pay off, I would have dealt with it. But it did pay off. And I might lose it all again. If the website goes, my YouTube channel goes, maybe I have to reset again and go. That's what it's all about. All right. Getting knocked down and getting back up. But I just feel like a lot of the time now that people in this world, they're just down and they don't have anything left in them anymore. The systems ruin them. So they're just like, okay, just literally getting whipped and got so used to it. They can't imagine a life without being whipped. It's not about easy, Flinny, bro. It's not about winning this game either. It's not about winning it or doing better than your neighbor. In regards to me saying life's a game, like it's all about learning and improving. All right. Do you compete with yourself? Yeah, every day. I'm always trying to learn something new every day. So am I competing with myself to an extent? But again, life's a game. Why so serious? Famous quote. Joker. It's very, very easy to get down and fed up and angry in this world, but that is what he wants. That is what the Dark One wants. He feeds off that energy. And I have moments where I snap and overreact, but nowhere near like I used to. You might have even noticed that in my live streams. If somebody provoked me, I'd really like, oh, no, I'm like, all right, okay, do your little thing. Good luck. Um, yeah, what I love about Flinny, who's in the chat, this is the guy who was nice enough to pick me up from Heathrow and bring me home, and then meet my mum. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got home the day before my mum's birthday. I promised her I would be home before her birthday. I got here an hour before her birthday, and that's because of him. If I would have got the National Express and messed around with all of that, I wouldn't have got home till about 2, 3 a.m. So Flinny, the best thing about him, not just his generosity, I would say it's his humor and how he don't really let anything truly get to him. All right, and get too overwhelmed by anything. He's aware of what's playing out. He's aware in many ways there's a lot of things you can't necessarily change, but you can avoid those things. You can avoid them. So yeah, he's a great guy. It's nice to be nice. Yeah. Again, this is huge. Compliment people. Compliment people. Try it today. Go compliment a loved one or a friend or somebody in a supermarket or a bypasser. Compliment them. Watch how they react and then how that makes you feel. How it's a win-win. It's the most win-win situation is complimenting people. All right, and smiling and laughing is infectious, which we've seen the videos of people on the tube. One guy laughs, the guy next to him laughs, the whole carriage laughs, and the whole train's laughing. But the average journey when you're on like the tube or a train or a bus is people like that. They're negative, they're not smiling, or they're on the phone and they look like they've been beaten. You feel that energy. I avoid things where I'm going to feel that negative energy. It's why I really don't like grocery shopping. Everyone's just zombied out in there. Why do I go to the beach so much? Is it because I want to show off and live the high life? No, it's 'cause everyone's happy. I don't think I've ever seen a miserable person on the beach. I haven't. Maybe if you're in Blackpool and it starts pissing it down or something, but if you're on a nice beach, a nice climate. And I spoke to my dad today, who I absolutely adore. I just love his smile. His smile can light up a room, my dad. I'm going for dinner with him tomorrow. He knows that I'm leaving next week, but anytime I truly need advice, I'll speak to my parents, speak to my dad. And I told him, I said, Dad, if you were me now, would you stay a little bit longer in England? Would you come back here? Or would you stay in Mexico? He knows my life in Mexico, how happy I am, how comfortable I am there. He said, if I'm being selfish, I'd want you back here. If I'm being a good dad and I weigh everything up, go to Mexico. That's where you belong. That's where you'll be happier. England's going down. He's aware now. He said, you don't want to come back here, Ads. You don't want to come back here. And he's the most wisest person I've ever met in my life. He's quiet, but when he speaks, you better listen to my dad. And he said, go to Mexico. And he said, if it doesn't all go to shit like I think it will, like you think it will, you can come back every other year. I'll support you financially. If you want to come back every year, is what he said. He said, you don't want to live here anymore. And I was like, I needed to hear that. Because there's a lot of other friends and family who are saying, come back. This is where you belong. You could do great here. You could live with your mum, big house and all of that and do all of that. And I was like, I went to that park today where I like used to go all the time. I just looked around and it was so glorious and beautiful. I thought maybe this is as good as it gets. This is as good as it gets. Like, I don't think England gets any nicer than what I'm looking at here. and it was beautiful, but it wasn't enough for me to want to come back. And again, the longer I've been here, like when you arrive here, everyone wants to see you, and I was overwhelmed by how many people wanted to see me and hang out with me and buy me a drink and take me out for dinner and all the quality time I had with people. Been here a month now, and then you realize that there is the rat race. And even if you get to the top of the rat race, you're still a rat. And you can easily get to the top of it and get relegated to the bottom of the rat race. When maybe you make your way up the corporate ladder, right to the top of it, you've worked your ass off for 15 years to get that prestigious promotion, salary increase, and then your company goes out of business and you're back to square one when you're playing along with the rat race. I have faith in God. I have faith in my abilities. I know whatever happens in my life, I will always have the gift to get me out of a problem. I have said this to myself about 2 years ago. If I can't make enough money to pay for the very basics in life, then the whole world is done. I said that to myself. And I mean that hand on my heart. With my talent to coach, to teach, to code, I can work in a bar. I've got loads of experience doing multiple different jobs. One year I even came back, the year I came back in 2013, just to try out England with Betsy, just to be fair, to do 6 months. I said, I'll take the first job that I'm offered. I don't care what it is, because I don't plan on staying here long term. But I'm going to come back to see what it's like living here with Betsy. So we came for 6 months. The first job I was offered was a car phone warehouse. Never, ever in my life did I think I'd work in retail or even attempt to work in retail. I did it. Within 5 months, they offered me a manager's role, triple my pay and all of that. And I said no. I knew that I wasn't cut out for the rat race and retail, even though I could sell people phones like that because I have the personality. So if I can't make enough money to pay my basic rent, because I don't live in a big fancy house anymore, and I can't put basic food on the table, then 99.9% of the world will be in the same situation. So I don't fear it. Did I intentionally set up a website and coach and teach just in case one of them fails? Yeah, because I'm intelligent. I know at any point Patreon could have got rid of me, and they did. I know YouTube tomorrow, if they wanted to, could take my channel down. All right, and that could all go. And then the coaching, I'll do all of that. And then what if the economy completely collapses and people can't pay for private coaching anymore? All right, then I'll go work in a school again. And then if people can't afford to get private education anymore, I'll go to a public school. And then if the government can't fund the schools anymore, who knows what I'm going to do? That'll be so many people out of business and who are struggling. But do I let it scare me? Do I let it worry me? Do I let it bring me down? Do I get too carried away when I'm doing really well financially? Nah. When I was making all that money gambling, did it give me a massive buzz? It was more about winning than the money I was actually bringing in. It was there we go, because I was so competitive. So this whole thing that's going on with the economy, it's going to break a lot of people, and it's your choice. It's your choice. If you're going to let it break you, that's on you. I won't let it break me. I will never let this system break me. I never have before. I never will now. All right. Expedia, did they pay me the $1,600 back? No. Am I going to let it ruin my mood every day? No. Am I still going to contact them and tell them, hey, I ain't going to stop, because that's who I am. I ain't going to stop. You're giving me that money and I won't stop. I'll keep going with it because that's who I am. I'll keep going until I get it. But again, think about it. Since June the 20th, when Patreon removed my account with no warning, stole $2,500 from me. Never seen it. Never seen it. Then Expedia steal 1,600 from me. That's close to $4,000 in a few months. Keep testing me, Satan, because the more you do that, the more I realize I don't need as much money as I thought I needed. So keep doing it. You didn't want me to go to England, Satan, did you? Cancelling this, delaying this. All right. All the stuff that you put me through to stop me from coming. I got here. I got here. And it was so easy for me to just say, "No, I'm done with this. I'm done. I ain't coming anymore." Spit my dummy out. I got here, didn't I? All right. What else have we got? Follow your heart. There's that song, Listen to Your Heart. Great song. Be careful as well, though, with your heart. I think you need a balance between your heart and your mind. Because if you do everything with your heart, is where you can be overly emotional. Remember the famous saying, people pulling on your heartstrings, and they do that to manipulate you. So if you think purely with your heart and no logic, you're in for a world of hurt. Bam! If you just think with logic and no emotional connection, you'll become a robot. So like everything in life is balance. Is finding that balance with everything you do, your thoughts, your actions, your diet. All right, it's balance. And I don't think you should always follow your heart. I get where you're coming from with that. It's like the whole thing of all you need is love. No, you need way more than love. All right. If all you needed was love, 2/3 of the world won't be divorced. I'm pretty sure when you get married, you're in love. All right. You need more than love. It can't just be follow your heart, in my opinion. I'm not meaning to be harsh. All right. That's how I feel. I think you need a real balance. Discernment is key. Divine Feminine Living UK, baby. Discernment is a superpower. The gift to discern is a superpower. Being able to sense what is bullshit and what isn't is a superpower. This knowledge will help you with that, which will then help you make smarter decisions, which will make it a challenge for Satan to manipulate you. He punishes and takes advantage of the vulnerable. That's why during all of this, who was he going for first? The elderly, the vulnerable. So he went for first. Now he's going for the children. Okay? And then the people in between, he pulls on your heartstrings. You can't allow him to do that. You can't allow him to do that. And that's where discernment comes into it. Adam, we should do another phone call soon. Absolutely, mate. When I'm back in Mexico, I will start doing more live streams with other people. It's just difficult here in England with the time difference, and I'm in somebody else's home. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, my phone in England, I charge it to 100%, and within an hour, it's down to like 10%. Takes forever to charge, and then when it's fully charged, it dies. I don't know if it's the phone itself because it died on me in Los Angeles for like 10 or 11 days. Just died, and then Apple said it's dead. It won't ever turn on again. Well, I got it back on like 11 days after. I said I'll give it one last chance. It came on. And it was like, really? Like the whole trip I didn't have a phone? And I don't know if that was a blessing from God or Satan screwing me. Two ways of looking at it. All right. If my phone would have been on, it would have been a lot easier to meet people and this, that, and the other. But there would have been more distractions there. And then the day before I'm leaving, I thought I'll just try to turn it on. So I was going to literally leave the phone in LA. I was like, I'll just leave it here. And I was packing all my stuff up. And then I heard this noise. I was like, wait, did my phone just turn on? And it turned on. Never had so many messages in my life. Maybe the Queen Elizabeth day where she died. That was overwhelming with messages. But I was like, wow, how did this turn on? When an expert, 'cause we got to believe the experts, I went to Apple Care, who said there's no way, no chance that phone will come on now. It's completely dead. And he did all these tests on it. He got all these wires out and it looked all professional. Well, brother, you was a nice guy. You seem like a legit guy. You got it wrong. So that little thing here that says you're some sort of an expert, maybe you're not. Apple is rotten. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And again, that's why it's got the apple that's been bitten into. It's the forbidden fruit. It goes back to the Garden of Eden. And yeah, I agree. Like you get attached to it. I use this Mac now because it's just so much easier and more convenient for me. Regular computer. I don't use it because it's a Mac and it's prestigious. Like, who cares? Most people have it anyway. It's not like you're going to stand out. But again, my phone's about to die. The iPhone 10 for another 10. Everyone's like, just get the 14. It's great for this and this and this. It's like, do I go back to just paying 30 quid for a phone where I can only text and call, which is what a phone's designed for? Literally, it used to just be designed for calling people, and then we got the ability to text people. And now, why do we get it? Basically, for photos. If you care so much about photos, buy a video camera. But it's a toughie, innit? It's like, what do I do now? Phone's on its last legs. I've had it 3.5 years because I got it when it first came out. Do I get the new one? Do I get the one in the middle and then find out in a year and a half that the operating system's so slow? Again, do I go back to the old school phone, but I work online? That's how I make my living in general. The coaching and teaching is a bonus for my mindset more than the money. So you're like stuck with all of that. But I do know this in my head. This is what's key. If I do end up getting an iPhone again, I ain't doing it for ego. I ain't going to do it to show off in front of my friends or a girl. I'm doing it for work. And again, it's very different to when you decide what you do and the incentive behind it is very different. Like if your girlfriend complained at you the night before that, hey, you never surprise me anymore. You never buy me chocolates and flowers and take me out for a meal. You never do it. And I miss those times. And then the day after, you buy her chocolates, flowers, and take her out for dinner. That's different to if you would have just come up with that without her complaining. So what's going to happen is the girl's going to say, you're only doing that because I told you yesterday. This isn't organic. This don't mean anything. And then you get angry thinking, wait, I'm just doing everything you asked me to do. But you didn't really do it for the right reasons. It wasn't spontaneous. So again, the decisions that you make in life, it's the purpose behind them. As I was saying, if I was giving people hot dogs because I wanted to put it on my YouTube channel to get likes and have people love me and respect me even more, is a lot different to me doing it because I generally get happy by seeing these other people happy through me being nice to them. Very different. People doing certain things for certain reasons, certain incentives. Like I code because I love it. I will still code if I don't have a website. If I make money from it, that is a big bonus. The work that I put in, I do deserve the money, but I ain't doing it just for money. That isn't my main focus of why I set up a YouTube channel or a Patreon or a website. It wasn't the main aspect of why I set it all up. It was to share my story and share my knowledge and help people. And then if it helps me back by learning from other people and it helps me financially, perfect. Within this system, the best thing you can do is get paid for doing something you love. Yet people shit on you for that. They seem to believe that anything you love, you should do for free. And that's not always going to be the case. If you can do something that you love, that you're gifted at, that other people appreciate and willing to pay for, that is one part of cracking the code of the matrix. But most of us will work a job for 40 hours a week that we really don't like, that takes our energy, that basically ruins us physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually. But they get by just to survive. There's a big difference between living and surviving as well. A huge difference. All right, what else have we got here? It's not about money for you, as you allowed me to join for free because I could not join. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Surap Surap. So Here's a prime example. Again, I ain't saying this to big me up. There's no need to do it. Don't need to impress anybody. Surap is a beautiful soul. All right, an amazing person, and she lives in Turkey. For whatever reason, if you're from Turkey, you can't sign up to my website. It doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. It's the beast system. Should be able to sign up anywhere in the world. All right. She couldn't. She tried to send me, I can't even remember what it's called. She tried to send me the money, and tell me what it is, Surap. I've completely forgot. Western Union. So she tried to send me it via Western Union for 3 months. I was like, no, it's fine. And she went, no, I'm going to send you it. It's not fair. I was like, okay. She sent me everything. She did everything she could have done. I went to go and try and pick it up for 3 different outlets that did Western Union. And all three of them said, no, this doesn't work. We can't give you the money. I was like, why not? And I must have lost an hour and a half, 2 hours of my life doing all of this, but it's fine. And I was like, what's more important to me? 30 odd dollars, whatever it was, or the fact that Surap can access my content and she has a husband who also enjoys it. That's more important. It would have been really easy for me to say, Surap, no, I'm gonna cancel this. It's not right. I never got the money. You robbing me. No, she did everything that she could have done, and I did everything I could have done. I didn't get the money. I'll never get the money, and I'm fine with $30. All right, it's fine. And there's situations like that where other people would have definitely said, "Nah." They wouldn't have. They would have just said to her, "Hey, if you can't sign up, unlucky." And I went out of my way. I even set up an account with Gabrielle to give her. It was the only way I could have done it. We had like this spare account of Gabrielle's, and we gave her that. And then even Gabrielle said, "Well, I'll change your name. Send me an image. I'll make it yours. I'll personalize it for you." That's the little things that you can do for people that the average person would be like, "Wait, she's paying nothing. I'm doing all of this for her. Why would I do that?" But he knew that Surap really wanted this knowledge, that she deserved the knowledge because she wants it for the right reasons. She ain't wanting it just to decide who's going to win the NBA. Illusion. That's not why she signed up. She signed up for the knowledge and the community, and she deserves that. And she can have that membership as long as she wants it. If she can't send me money, that's fine as well. So there's a guy who builds water generators, taking out the fuel tank and replacing it with water and metal. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Go on, Divine. Feminine Living UK, baby. So again, if the whole world was aware of the beast system and how it operates and how basically history repeats itself with economic crashes, do you think we'd still be naive enough to play along with it all? Why at school do we not learn about finances or taking out a mortgage or the difference between owning and renting, interest rates, how that all works, how the banking system operates? Because they want to hide it. I've told you how the banking system operates. I've told you through debt. It makes its money through debt by giving you money that doesn't exist. That's how it works. And then you end up paying the money, this so-called money, and you're paying what, 10, 15% extra? And the fact is, the reason you're having to borrow from the bank is because you're struggling financially. So more often than not, you're going to struggle to pay it back and then get in more debt and then take out another loan to pay off that debt. And then before you know it, you're trapped in the spider web of debt that you just become a complete slave. So what can I say at the end of this live now? Don't ever get a credit card. Maybe you have them, maybe you don't. If you don't, never get one. I wouldn't recommend ever purchasing a house. If a family member dies, don't pay for a coffin because the spirit never dies. Don't pay for a big ceremony, all right? And celebrate the life, okay? Rather than mourning it, celebrate somebody's life. Don't watch the news. I would recommend not to gamble, but that's your choice. I've been and done all of that, and it was very rewarding in many ways. But for me, watching these games and gambling on them, is energy harvesting, and I'm not willing to give my energy to it, but that's your choice as well. Be physically active, make people laugh, be generous, compliment people, look after yourself as well. So it's easier to look after other people when you can look after yourself. Tell people you love them. Don't be fake. Don't be obsessed with materialism. Doesn't mean anything. I don't care how expensive your suit is or how fancy your car is. It means nothing to me. It's not going to impress me. All right. Be happy. Figure out the things that make you happy and do them as often as you can. Don't let society break you down. Don't let it destroy your soul. All right. And you have a choice there. You have a choice. Can you dictate when the economy collapses? Can you dictate the inflation rates, interest rates? Can you dictate any of that? No. Can you control how you react to it? Yes. All right. So, again, you have a lot of choice in this world. You have more freedom than you realize. The system is designed to enslave you, but you also have free will. You've got to remember that. All right. It's so easy to blame the world and blame the Satanists and blame the Society of Jesus and blame the Freemasons for your misfortune. Easy to do that. Or you can take responsibility, embrace life, wake up every morning, realize it's a blessing, and help people. All right, put others before yourself, but also look after yourself. Simple. And that's what I've always done, but more than ever now that I'm aware of how this system operates, more than I've ever been aware of it. But again, I ain't going to preach. This is my thoughts. We all have different mindsets, different situations. This is how I operate, and I'll operate like this for the rest of my life. I have no doubt in my mind. Whether that's for another year, or 10, or 30, or 50, or 100, whatever it is, who knows? I will operate with that mindset. And it's done me very well in my 36 years living within this realm, whatever it is that we call Earth. So, work in a casino, so I ain't helping apart from saying anything to let them they should be responsible, mental health. Yeah, again, if people go in a casino and lose all of their money, that's their free will. You can say the casino's corrupt, you can say that Vegas robs people, you can say this, that, and the other, sports are corrupt. But at the end of the day, if you're willing to get involved and partake in it and you lose everything, it is on you. Do I have sympathy for those people? Yeah. Yeah, you have an element of sympathy. You don't want people to fail and lose everything. But on the other hand, their free will dictated that decision and they have to take responsibility for it. They do. I remember back in the day with Zach Hubbard, we were told one of his members killed himself because he got addicted to gambling and he lost a lot of money on one of Zach's picks that lost. That ain't Zach's fault. I'm sorry. You know, I don't really have a great connection with Zach. That isn't Zach's fault that somebody took his pick, lost a ton of money, and took his life. That's not Zach's fault, is it? So, free will, free will, free will. Remember that. Remember that. It is so powerful. One of the greatest things we possess. And there'll be people on YouTube that say, you don't have free will. Everything's coded. Everything's predestined. We are living in hell. People that decode your reality. You have way more free will than you'll ever realize. Okay? And there might be times where you feel like you are in cuffs, or you're on a chain, or you're on a leash. But again, only you can escape. Only you can escape. Good choice, bad choice, your choice. Get that on a t-shirt. Again, it's hard to define what's a good choice and what's a bad choice. Just imagine think about when you go out for dinner. What you having, Adam? Oh, I'm gonna have vegetable lasagna. Oh, that's a bad choice. Why aren't you going for the calzone? No, mate, it's not a bad choice. It's what I want. Nah, that's a bad choice. There's way more better things on the menu. What? What? All right, you order them then. I'll do whatever you want. I ain't gonna say why you getting that. So again, when it comes to good choice, oh, that's a good choice. Yeah, that's a good choice back in the Packers for the NFL. That's a good choice. Is it? Again, good and bad is opinion. Like there's duality in good and bad, but I get what you're saying, Lady Hawk. I love you to bits. But the key word there, good choice, bad choice, your choice, is just you have a choice. And what might be a good choice to you might be a bad choice to somebody else. Think about food. I think I'm getting hungry. I keep talking about food. We could all eat the same, I don't know, pasta dish that's cooked exactly the same way. Same taste, but have a difference in opinion on how it tastes. It's the same dish. I'll say it's like a cake or something. We all get a slice. Oh, it's sweet. No, it's not sweet. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Like, well, it's sweet to me. Well, it's not sweet to me. It's like spicy food. This is so spicy. No, it's not. It's mild. What are you talking about? So yeah, when it comes to opinions, which YouTube and social media, like they're trying to take away our opinions because they want us all to be robots that have the same mindset because it's easier to control zombies, isn't it? Go on, John. How you doing, lad? Much love. I want to say thank you so much to Michael. He knows who he is. Michael, who's from Austria, who's supported me from the beginning, who's one of the purest souls that I've ever come across, the nicest people, who, for whatever reason in life, is being shit on, or things have happened, no responsibility of his own, whether it's deaths or a company going out of business or whatever it is. They're not examples with him. Just a really good guy. And the other day, he sent me like, I don't know what it was. I don't even have to say the amount of money, but he said, enough money to go buy yourself some food. You deserve it. And he's really, really struggling financially. And he has been for a while. And he sent me some money to buy dinner. And he didn't have to do that. And again, when somebody's nice to you and generous, whether they're billionaires or they're poor, if they're supporting you and being kind to you, it doesn't matter how much money's in their account. But the fact that he's struggling financially and he's sent me that nice message, and then I'm gonna get a Chinese probably with it. I'll probably buy my brother one as well, Tom. So with the money that you sent me, I'll buy myself one and him one. Actually, probably can't in England now with the cost, but I'll maybe I'll just buy his and mine will be the one that you sent me. So that was really sweet of you. And again, the message was more important to me than the actual money. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, I'll go back to this. Just be nice to people. If somebody just sent me a tip with no message, yeah, it's nice. But when they send that message, that's the thing I look at more than the actual amount. We know back in the day, don't we, that um, when you're younger and you're a bit more selfish and you're materialistic and you're a bit obsessed with money, and somebody gets you a birthday card, y- I never, I sometimes actually pretended to read what they wrote, like intentionally, like I went out of my way not to read it. So it might say like, "Dear Adam, my amazing son, I hope you have a wonderful birthday this year. I'm so proud of this, this, and this." And I was like, "How much money's in the card? How much money's in here?" And I pretend to read the message. I put the card up, didn't really look at the card or what it meant, or didn't think, did they spend 15 minutes looking for this specific card because it's a footballer and they know how much I love it and the message in it, how long did it take them to write it? How beautiful. It's like, how much money's in here? And if there were hardly anything, I'd like close the card, open the next one. So now I'd really study the message that they'd send me rather than even give a shit about how much money's in there. That's a shift in mindset. But again, it doesn't mean I don't appreciate the money that's in there with the society that we live in. It's a fine line, isn't it? Can't act like I don't care about money at all because we do. It's really nice, but the messages I get mean so much more to me. When people sign up to my website and say you've changed my life, I'm not like, oh, that's another $9.13 after tax. Yes, That'll get me a couple of tacos. That's not how I think. And I believe if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'll operate, I'll have enough people supporting me. Maybe some months it'll go down like that for whatever reason, but I believe in the process and I'll keep doing this for as long as I have a platform, which I've said for 2 years, and I still have a platform. Can we meet your dad, mate? My dad's a bit reserved in the sense of he wouldn't come on here. He'd probably say hi. I've told you my dad is 67 and his body is insane and it's natural, all natural. Um, he's an inspiration to me. You know, when I talk about my dad, I speak with fire, and my mum's absolutely incredible as well. Blessed, blessed. And people may say, "Well, if they're so amazing, your family's so amazing, why did you leave them?" Because I went on my own wild adventure and journey, but they're always in my heart. Always. You don't have to. Again, when it comes to the brain, the heart, as long as you can feel that presence, like you can feel people's presence who are dead. You hear that, I can still feel your presence. I can feel you looking down on me. If you really feel that genuine spirit, you don't have to be like my mum and dad don't need to be sat next to me now for me to feel their presence. You can feel my presence and my energy and my knowledge by staring at a screen, can't you? You don't have to be here witnessing me speak. You don't. So I would say in this life, I've been incredibly gifted. I'm not saying I am an incredibly gifted person. I've just said I've been incredibly gifted. And when I've been given opportunities, I've taken them. I have, and I'll keep doing it. And that's what I've done with Gematria. I learned it, I studied it, I got better and better and better and better. And if I'm passionate about something, then I'm going to be freaking good at it. Simple as that. And the things that I'm not passionate about, that I don't see any real reasoning behind doing them, I don't do them. I won't just get better at it for the sake of it to prove a point. It's like, nah, no interest. So again, find the things that light that fire within your body and just do them and just keep getting better and better and better. And then usually the better you get, the more passionate you get about it. Can't deny that. Like if you like to cook and you get better and better and better, you want to cook more, you're more passionate about it. You probably cook better food. It's like anything, to be honest. Again, most people don't do things out of passion anymore. They do them for financial gain. I literally wonder how many people want to be doctors purely to help people rather than the money that they get paid. I wonder how many young kids want to be footballers because of their love of the game or because of the big house that they're going to get if they become one and people chanting their name, or if it's actually for the love of the game. Because if it was just for the love of the game, you won't need to be playing in front of 70,000 people if it was just the love of the game. So again, it goes back to why do you do what you do? What's the incentive behind it? I say this, I had this little debate with my friend Simon, which is like Simon, like Simpsons, like The Sims. It's funny. And he really wanted to go to this really fancy bar. And I've been to it so many times because it's the place where people go, "Do you want to meet for a beer here, Edders? It'll be great seeing you." It's like the place everyone goes, £6 a pint, whatever. It's like, let's go there, let's all meet there. And I said, no, I ain't doing that. Why? I said, number one, there's no energy or spirit there. Everyone just stands there just like that. They're going there for basically the ego to say I'm here or to tag themselves in this bar. I said, I want to go to the Weatherspoons. Why you want to go there? It's full of dead people and old people and poor people. Nah, it's so much spirit in those Weatherspoons. What do you mean spirit? I said, there is. I can feel it. You're not walking around. People are just being real. They're being organic. People laugh. They're having banter. That's it. And it's like 50% cheaper as well. Not that I'm a cheapskate at all, but I'm honest. I'm like, why'd I pay £6 for a beer where I can pay £3 for it? Why? Why would I do that? He was like, but it's better here. I was like, no, it ain't. I said, there's a group of us. We go on a night out, mainly because I'm here. All right. Why it was all set up. We'll find a table. We'll get the drinks in. We'll have a laugh because we're going to focus on our group. We don't have to worry about what's going on at table 7 and table 44 and table 96. We don't have to worry about that. We have our group. It's cheaper drinks. The energy's there. It's safe. It's clean. What's your problem? Why do we have to go to the fancy place? But no, it's a joke. What, you're poor? No, I'm not poor. I'm clearly not poor, am I? That's why I went out of my way to buy the round when we got there, to prove it wasn't about money. But the ego of wanting to be in this fancy place, I ain't playing along, but I used to be that guy. Not really. My mate Nathan called me out for this. He's like, Adam, you always go on about your massive ego and your materialistic. You never was. You just put people in the place when they had to be put in. Yeah, and he's right there. I could always go to Weatherspoons and do all of that. I was never like big shot, big time. But yeah, I would say what would have been different before I had my whole awakening is I would have just said, all right, Si, just to be nice, because I was a people pleaser. All right, Si, let's just go there. All right. I was like, no, I ain't going. You want to go there, Si? Go. I'll meet you there. But I ain't going now. What do you mean? I ain't going now. So you're going to come with me? Yeah, but you can pay for taxi. I said, I ain't getting a taxi. It's a 5-minute walk. Well, I ain't going then. I went, all right. See you later. He got a taxi. He paid for it. You've got to stand up for yourself in this world, guys. All right? Because people will trample on you. They will. If you just consent and you're happy to play along with the game and have people put you in your place and tell you what to do. That's why I left my job. I wasn't going to have a boss, even though I had a great job. And the bosses never really were in my ear because I was very good at what I did. It wasn't like they were pestering me. I had a good team. The people above me in the hierarchy were really good to me. But I wasn't going to play along with it. If somebody's saying to me, we're going here, I ain't. I ain't. And again, it's not because I'm selfish. It's just I won't be bullied into doing anything that I don't want to do. Very simple. Nobody's going to bully me or force me to do something I don't want to do, including this. That needs a strong spirit. All right. Don't matter how big you are here, how big your arms are. You got a big old chest on you and an 8-pack, and you're pretty tough. We've seen that. We've seen that means nothing when it comes to getting played by the system. No matter how big you are, how strong you are. Hey, Durrell! Woo! What's that? What did he just pull out there? And what animal is that? Is that a bird working out? Again, Durrell, if it wasn't for my awakening, I would never have come across you and many people in this chat and around the world. People like you, Durrell, you are literally, well, I guess we're all one of a kind, but you are a very, very special guy, mate. I think anyone for me who's funny, intelligent, and cares about people, you got those 3 things, then boom, I've got love and respect for you. And there's not many of us that are funny, intelligent, and care about people. You might have 2 of the 3 or 1 of the 3. He has all 3 in abundance, baby. What else have we got? Stand your ground, no matter how hard it feels. It gets easier and easier. The more comfortable you are with who you are, the more you stand your ground and not play along. I think the more insecure you are, the more you will consent and do things for, I don't know, to be accepted. Again, it goes like to peer pressure. People are still getting peer pressured as adults. You always think about peer pressure as teenagers and all of that. Adults fall for it. This was peer pressure. Why most people gave in. So the more comfortable you become in your own skin and you realize who you are, not playing a character that you believe is the best character for you in the Matrix, you find out who you are from within. You just kind of like, nah, I ain't doing that. And people envy it. People say about me, I envy your confidence. I envy your self-belief. You're like how comfortable you are in your own skin. Yeah. That is something to be envied because very few people have it. Again, when I tell people I don't own a TV, right at the beginning, I was kind of, should I tell them this? Are they going to judge me for it? And I know the way I live my life now, the views I have on life are extreme in this realm. They're extreme, they're rare. And I know the majority of the people who come across me and get to know who I truly am now are going to walk away from me. And I'm really good with that as well. Because the people who are meant to be in my life, who are truly going to understand me, they will find me. God will allow that to happen. Is dating easy for me now? Oh, no. At the beginning, they love me because I'm just being Adam. As soon as they get to know the illusion, they get frightened. They get frightened. It becomes too much for them. I'm like, okay, you're not meant to be in my life, but I've planted a seed there. It's all about planting seeds. It's up to them if they water it. You got to plant the seed without basically forcing information and knowledge on people. Just plant that seed and then walk away, and then see how it grows. I identity struggles more now than ever, especially with people's sexuality and their gender, and just all by design. Again, when you're confused and unaware of who you truly are, you can be manipulated. When you're strong-minded, confident individual who's got high levels of discernment, like myself, what are you going to do to me? When you have no fear of death or fear of judgment, what are you going to do to me? When you have no fear of becoming homeless if shit hits the fan, what are you going to do to me? I am light. I am light, not just my weight. I am light, and I will shine my light on darkness till the day I die. I will shine my light on darkness, and I will reveal the darkness, which will bring in light. I will be the guy that opens the curtains, where it goes from darkness to boom. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful wedding. Who sung that song? Was that Panic at the Disco? Can't remember. I can't remember. Another satanic band, which I liked growing up because I was never an emo because I was always the footballer guy. I never was an emo. But my word, I think it was university or just before. God, I love Panic at the Disco. I love My Chemical Romance. I love Linkin Park. I had a bit of an emo side to me. No doubt about it. Bam! I had an emo side to me. I love girls with dark black hair, pale skin for like a couple of years, fishnet stockings. Woo! Dog collar. Woo! Doc Martens. Woo! Huge fan. Bit of pink in their hair. Woo! Now, when it comes to how somebody looks, is it still important to me? There's definitely an element. Yes, it is. But it's not the main reason why I will meet somebody anymore. Um, but it still plays a role. I ain't gonna lie. How somebody looks will play a role to me when it comes to the connection with a woman. But it's not as important. It used to be the only thing I looked for. It was the only thing I looked for in a girl. Are they attractive? That's all I cared about. Um, but it's way more than that, isn't it? I think the older you get as well, like genuinely older, you do just want that connection with somebody. But I do think you have to be attracted to them for it to really work. But that's my opinion again. Panic at the Disco, yeah, extremely weird. Adam can sing well. Hmm. I don't know if this is going to work at all. I don't know if this is going to work. Shall I go on with a dog collar? Um, sh- should I go? Should I go mess around with the piano for 5 minutes before I leave? But I may lose my signal, and I ain't great. But I want to see how it sounds because I can't record it on my phone because I've got no memory. Not here on the phone. So I go play along. And again, I'm very, 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 very average, but it soothes my mind. It helps me. It releases tension when I play it. So can singing. So can dancing for many people. So can running. Again, figure out when you are feeling stressed and fed up, what is it that makes you feel better and go do it. Oh, I've had an awful day at work. All right, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna call this person who makes me laugh. Like figure out that thing that brings you that joy that when you are feeling down, you can go to that. You know what I'm saying, baby? What can you play? No, not that much. Um, I'm self-taught. I've never ever had a lesson. I play by ear. The piano's out of tune. The E key doesn't work, which is one of the most important keys. Um, but there's a few things that I can do. But I usually have to warm up to remember them, to be honest with you. But there's a few that I could play a little bit and you probably recognize it. But I ain't Beethoven. But to people who have never played the piano, don't know the difference between a C and a D key, they hear you play anything, they're like, wow, you should be in a band, man. It's like, no, I shouldn't. You should actually see somebody who's in a band who can actually play piano at a high level with their eyes closed. They belong in a band. But again, why do I do what I do? Do I play the piano for attention? Because I want to be in a band? Because I want to make money from it? No, I do it because it soothes my soul. It's really good for my brain. And there's definitely that gratification when you learn a song or even when you learn an intro or when you learn a couple of keys to it. And somebody goes, wait, is that that song? And you're like, yeah, that's why I do it. All right, what I'll do then, I'll much love to Thomas Lockwood, who's amazing on the guitar. He sent me a video the other day of him playing Holocene by Bon Iver. I was like, that's amazing. Was I jealous of him? No. I just admired his talent. Good for him. So, can you play the Juventus anthem? No. Like, if you're gonna ask for like, can you do this? Can you play it? Nah. There's a couple that I can do, and you probably recognize them. But when I'm doing it, you'll definitely hear mistakes and errors. Um, Start a band. No. Again, a lot of people when I was younger said you were a great singer to me. That's why when I was at middle school, they put me in, was it called the choir? Miss Robson put me in the choir. She heard me sing one time and she was like, You're the footballer. If people see you sign up to it, more guys will do it. And then they did because of me. It was kind of like Glee. I didn't want to do it. She heard me sing. She said, You should do this. I think she offered me, like, I'll give you extra points in history or something, whatever she said. And I enjoyed it. But it was like singing carols and stuff around Christmas. But it felt really nice, to be honest. And I wasn't embarrassed to do it. At the beginning, I was, I ain't going in choir. No way. No way. But I did it. So yeah, I've always been able to sing, I think. But I've never auditioned or anything like that, or never wanted to be in a band. But I can probably sing as well as most people in a band. The ones I've heard, anyway. A lot of lead singers, a lot of the time, they just talk. We were having a chat about this yesterday. David Bowie just talked. Ground control to Major Tom. Like, it's just pretty much talking. And then there's other people who have voices where you're like, wow. Like, how good is the lead singer of Kings of Leon? Because he has like this unique husky voice. I don't even think I'll be able to impersonate it. And I've seen Kings of Leon live. Just unbelievable. Like, this might hurt my throat, but his voice is unique. So, and like the lead singer of Placebo, I've not heard anyone sound like him. But like with Kings of Leon, it's like, see, I don't think I can do this. 3, 2, 1. Lay where you're laying. Don't make a sound. Like, he's got this husky voice, and you're like, wow, that guy can sing. And then there's other people, you're like, wait, you're just talking, or your voice is bang average. Um, And then you get the people who are possessed by demons, like Beyonce. You hear Beyonce sing Rihanna, you're like, how do they do that? Whitney Houston. But in general, like your Will Youngs and your Gareth Gates and the people who do well in those talent shows, I could sing as well as Gareth Gates. Like, remember the song that he did with Will Young, The Long and Winding Road? It was literally just like, hey, Red Pill Monkey. Let's do a bit of Macy Gray for Red Pill Monkey. I think, was she a one-hit wonder? Maybe two. Here we go, Macy Gray. Bloke, by the way. 3. This is for Red Pill Monkey. Much love to this guy. What a guy. I wish I had a Red Pill Monkey in my life every day. If he lived in Mexico and it was just him and I, he knows the connection we have. So a bit of Macy Gray here. 3, 2, 1. I might not know the lyrics. I try to say goodbye and I choke. I try to walk away and I stumble. Like, her voice is like, what? That is not a woman. That is not a woman, Macy Gray. But that song, again, when it came out, I think we all liked it, didn't we? Celine Dion, don't get me started on that skeleton. Look at her clothing line, how satanic it is. She has a children clothing line and it's unbelievably satanic, outrageously. Has she had a couple of good songs? Yeah, she had the Titanic soundtrack. My Heart Will Go On. She had a couple of good songs. I've told you a musician I used to love, who's dead now. Meatloaf. Like Meatloaf, like again, possessed by a demon, no doubt. What was his? Dead Ringer of Love. That's it. That what a song is. That is. I don't know anything about you, baby, but you're everything I'm dreaming of. I don't know who you are, but you're a real dead ringer for love. A real dead ringer for love. Why I love Meatloaf is that his songs were just, you felt the energy from him. You're like, whoo! What all his songs, like Bad Out of Hell, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. He was, what again, whether he was possessed or not, the energy when he performed, just, oh, you could feel the electricity when he performed. People say that about Freddie Mercury and stuff like that. Like, the more I listen to Queen, I can't handle it. Absolute garbage music. But I fell for it. It's like, oh, so good, Queen. They're not. We will rock you. Like, oh God, it's cringeworthy thinking about how much I enjoyed Queen and how often I listened to Queen. Shite. All right? No doubt about it. Bam! One of the most overrated bands of all time, especially when you break down the lyrics that didn't make any sense. All we need is Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo. What? What a load of tosh. Hey? Awful. I'm starting a dating site called Open Minds. Go on. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Freddie Mercury plays Ali G. Oh, man. Hey, Adam, best wishes from Canada. Oh, thank you very much. Looks like you have a Polish name and you're living in Canada. Much love. Oh, my dog's barking. It must have been an evil spirit that just walked past. All right. Freddie Mercury is connected to Mercury retrograde. Hey, Benji, what are you barking at, baby? Benji, come here. Why are you barking? Is there some evil spirit outside, baby? Why are you barking? Tell me. Explicar, mi perro. ¿Cuál es el problema afuera? ¿Qué? No entiendo. No habla perro. So I'm just speaking to my dog. Hey, go on, son. Go on, Benji lad. Go on. Hey, give me a kiss. Go on. Go on. Go on, Sam. You want Sam? Hey, Benji, you just nearly broke my Mac. Benji, it's just me and Benji having the time of our lives. It's just me and Benji. We're having the time of our lives. Sing, Benji. It's me and my black and white dog having the greatest time. He is the love of my life. Benji, always be mine. Hi, Benji. Benji, always be mine. That is going to be released on iTunes. It's going to be £6.66, baby. Oh, Benjamin Edwards. Benjamin. Benji, are you good? What about this for some nice lyrics here? Are you ready for this, Benji? You ready for this? 3, 2, 1. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat is a Jesuit twat. Hey, you like that one, Benji? Go on, son. You want some? You want some, Benji? You want some? If you want some, I'll give it you. You want some? Right, okay. Wow, I've just gone for 2 hours and 2 minutes. I had no idea. Wow. Wait, I think my mum's back. Mum? Benji? All right, I'm going to take you downstairs. If it goes off, it's because of the connection. I'll play around a little bit with you, see if you can hear it. And if you can't, no problem. And if I mess up, who cares? I ain't claiming to be Elton John. You're not paying 70 quid to go watch me perform. All right, let me move this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. No, I don't think she's back. Oh, there you are. Have you just got back? People are saying hi to you. Hi. Yeah, here's my mother here, a true legend. A true legend. Just wait, what's this say? For 5 minutes, are you staying in?
No, I need rest.
For 5 minutes, do you mind if I mess around with the piano? Not to show off, somebody's asking me. Just for 5 minutes. I know you want to chill out. What's wrong with him? Is that what it is?
Yeah, so you can take him off.
Okay, well, I already went up to Northcliffe.
With him?
No, do you want me to take him after this?
No, it's all right, it's all right.
What if we both go?
Well, I need rest.
All right, the signal might go anyway. Okay, we're going to the basement. Ooh, it's scary. It's scary, baby. There, we've got a bit of lights. All right, clothes hanging up. Red Pill Monkey, Joey, you're going to be aware of this. Wait a second, the light should come on.